Hi guys, welcome back or welcome if you're new. My name is Tiana and I'm the maker behind Also Stitched, and today we have weekly makes. And I'm gonna be focused on one of my patterns that I bought during the Black Friday sale, even though I don't think this pattern was on sale, but oh well. I still bought it. It is very well hyped pattern at the moment and I just couldn't resist. I wanted to see what's the hype. Is it worth the hype? Or better say, is it hot or not? So we're just gonna dive into one pattern designer and one of the pattern series that she has released and the mods she also has. And in the end, I do have some market makes that I did, something different and new that I also made, and some small yarn haul that I want to share with you. So grab yourself a drink and enjoy. The pattern designer is Nooks Hooks. It is by Amour. She has also started a YouTube channel and she is really enjoyable to watch, and honestly I couldn't resist her bear in the hoodie pattern. It is so cute and I was curious. Everyone was talking about how interesting the hood attachment is, how different it is designed. It is completely no-sew pattern and that is the best part of it. And of course I had to buy it, I had to test it, and I didn't make one, not two, I made multiples, and I'm gonna walk you through my process of making them and learning in the end what I find the best for me and how I'm gonna continue making this pattern, these bears. I have to say it is a relatively quick make. It is under 2 hours for me, and I measured my time when I was doing the first one, which is always the slowest one. In total it took 90 grams of yarn. I used my hobby toucan yarn, which is like basic chenille yarn, like Parfait Chunky or something like that. I'm just amazed. They are very cute, they are very quick make, and the only thing I don't know is how they are gonna sell because I don't have markets for next 2 or 3 months, so we'll see when that time comes. Here is my first one that got me started. When I was starting this plushie, my idea was to maybe make a strawberry one. That's why I went with the pink colors, but I didn't know that I was playing yarn chicken because this color, I have actually 4 or 5 skeins of this color and I thought it was the same color, but unfortunately it is a slightly different shade. I had only half a skein of this while the others were different shades, so I had to scrap my idea of strawberry one and decided to go for a striped version just so everything else doesn't go to waste. And I knew from the start that I'm gonna go with the sitting version because it's gonna be easier for me to display them on the markets. It's easier for them to sit than to have to balance them on the tables, and customers never tend to put them nicely back. It would be a mess if they would standing. I love what Anouk has as her display for the plushies. She has a beautiful grid wall where they are hanging, but that unfortunately wouldn't work for me, so I was happy that she had a mod for the legs. Mod for the legs is free mod on her Instagram. I'm gonna talk more about it when we get to the legs part. Let's start from the beginning. Where do you start? You start with a hoodie. Hoodie is removable, but you can only remove it off from the head. You cannot detach it completely from the head. It is not sewed on, so you can actually twist it around, but there's no need for that. It sits really nice. I love the way this looks. So essentially you start with making the hood first. Then you go and make arms, then you go make legs, and then you start from the bottom. Work up, stop with the hood yarn color. You need to cut the yarn because you will be adding the hood on top of it and reattaching head color yarn and just working up the head. Once you're finished with the head, you will close it off and surface crochet ears. These ears are really quick and easy make. This is my first time ever doing ears like that. It was really nice. Ears were really quick make and they look cute. I love the way this plushie looks in general. I love its size. It is my hand size and I think they are so cute. My only issue was I wasn't sure what I want to do with eyes and face shaping. I am a firm stuffer. I have always been firm stuffer and all of my my plushies are very firmly stuffed, but Anouk is not. Her plushies are barely stuffed, especially if you look one of her tutorials where she is showing you how to do the face shaping. That head is half empty, and I wasn't sure about that because I was scared that head would look floppy and it wouldn't give enough definition. And then I stuffed this head very firmly and I went with a bigger eyes. I think these are 18 mil, but they are non-sinker eyes, and I wasn't overly happy with the face. I attempted to do face shaping on this one, but I failed just because the head was too stuffed. So I knew I wanted to play around, make a bit more of them to decide which face and eye design do I prefer, and that's where I started to make a lot of them just because I needed to figure this out for me. This one is not bad. None of them are bad. I'm just playing and exploring which face and eyes will work best for me and my style. I have to admit, this has quickly become my comfort crocheting. I usually have some patterns that are very mindless for me that I can crochet when I need a comfort crochet, which usually it's drift at the moment. It used to be love cats, but at the moment it's drift. But I had no issue repeating this in so many variation and multiples that I really enjoyed making this one. I do see myself making them a lot, and I just hope they will sell because they are so cute, they are quick make, and I really love this pattern. There's nothing wrong with this pattern. I enjoyed making this and I really do recommend this. There is one thing that in the modification I noticed later, just because I'm very picky, I'm very detail oriented, and when I was looking in her photos of all the sitting bears, I have noticed that they have a bit of cropped hoodie and that their tummy is showing under the hoodie, and my tummy on this first version was not, and I was like, did I do something wrong? And I was reading through it, and I just couldn't figure it out. I was looking at her photos, I was stalking her videos, I was trying to figure it out. What am I doing wrong that my hoodie doesn't look like hers? And I figured it out, guys. It's on the last page of modification. She tells you that from now on you will go to the old original pattern and you will start. Let me just pull that out so that I can read that properly without making assumptions and giving you any wrong information. Just give me a second. Alright, so this is what it says on the last page of modification. I have my laptop here in case you're wondering where I'm reading from. Now continue using the base pattern for the rest of the pattern. Your next row should be around 14 in the base pattern. If you like, mark your previous row with a stitch marker and note down that from now on it counts as row 13. I think this last sentence I neglected. I misinterpreted or whatever, or I don't even remember if I read it correctly, because when I went back and read that again and again and trying to interpret it correctly, what I think is, guys, please correct me if I'm wrong or if you have figured this differently. What I think when she said from now on this row is counted as row 30, because her color change for the hoodie starts at row 14. So technically, she wants you to go back to the old pattern as a row 13 and do one row of body color, and then on the second row to change to the hoodie color. And that exactly gives you that cropped hoodie. And I think that's it. I wish that was maybe mentioned in this modification, the reason why you should do it. For example, if you're going back to hoodie pattern, then continue with row 13 so that you can start color change on row 14 and things like that. I assume a lot of people have missed this because I've seen a lot of people making these sitting bears and they don't have like that cropped hoodie. Also, what you can notice on her bears, you see this cuff of the hoodie. Her cuff of the hoodie is touching the hem of the hood, but mine is not. That is exactly that one row that I am lower than hers. I'm gonna show you on other examples because I figured that one on my second one. So this is the only one that I have with a longer hoodie and the hem of the hoodie not touching the cuff. I know this is very nitty-gritty, but that's just me. I'm very detail oriented and I noticed every single detail on plushies and other patterns and designs, and I was just curious why mine wasn't looking like that. It's because I was reading the modification pattern wrong. So in case you wanna have a bit of more tummy showing and a cropped hoodie, do one round in the body color and then on the second round switch to the hood color. I'm gonna show you comparison with my second one. Let's talk about the second one. So for the second one, I went with the bear in a frog hood. This is by far my favorite one just because that frog hood is so cute. And you can tell he is showing tummy, his hood is cropped, the hood bottom hem is touching the sleeve cuff. You can see how these two are touching here. That's exactly what she has on all of her bears, but I was missing that with this one. Look at the difference. I do prefer the look of this one. I do prefer that a bit of tummy showing just because it is cute. It looked cropped, and so from now on I'm just making them like this. Of course, this is not the same thing if you're doing the standing one because this is just the mod for the sitting one. Don't confuse this if you're doing the standing version. I think the standing version has a bit longer hoodie. When it comes to this one, I was again playing with the face feature. I was trying different eyes, and for this one I went with 18 mil sinker eyes. So these are both 18 mil eyes, but Frog one has sinker eyes while the basic hood one has non-sinker eyes. I do prefer the way sinker eyes look, and from now on I will be only making sinker eyes. 18 mil, I think it is big enough. I could try bigger ones, but I don't have them yet. I have ordered a couple of sizes bigger just to test them, just to try them, but I do like the way this one looks. So this is by far my favorite when it comes to eye feature for now. We'll come to that later. When it comes to his head, I did stuff his head a bit less, but I didn't do any face shaping because it was still too much stuffing compared to what a Nook does. This one is the cutest. I have to say I love the way he looks, and I feel like this might be one of the biggest sellers. I hope they will be because I really enjoy making them and I want them to sell good because I want to make more. For now, I have to restrict myself of making more until I have markets in a couple of months just because I don't want to be stuck with 20 bears. Alright, so my next one, I wanted to try something different. I didn't buy her mod for, was that garden or I'm not sure which, there was a mod with the bee one, but that was just for the body and there was no hood for the bee. So I decided I'm just gonna make myself because you can play with this so much. There is so much you can do with just the color variations, and each one of these can be unique on its own because the possibilities are endless. I decided to make a bumblebee or bee, whatever you wanna call it. Again, it has cropped hoodie showing tummy, so cute. These are 20 mil eyes, again non-sinker eyes, and these are my least favorite because they're really big and they're really overpowering, and at the same time I stuffed his head really strongly. You can feel this is so much stuffing compared to this one. You can just see the size of the head. I overstuffed this one and I don't like it. From now on I won't be overstuffing the head because I just don't like it. I prefer the smaller head. It looks so much nicer, and I free-handed this and the color changes and things I just did my own. There is no pattern for this. In the end I kind of don't mind the eyes because he looks like a bumblebee with a huge eyes, but in case any of these are not selling, if I think they are not selling because of the eyes are actually a very quick fix because I only need to unravel two top rounds on the head before the ears and I will be able to change eyes if I find that they are not selling because the eyes are weird or the head is overstuffed. But I think these are only the things that we crocheters will notice. I don't see customers noticing any of these. He was fun make. He is definitely different, and we'll see how he will go, how people will react to him. And yeah, I love the color changes. I even looked at some of her photos because she also did a bee in the hood. She had the yellow on the cuff and hem, and even my husband said that I should have gone for yellow because he thinks it is too much black for a bee. If this one sells, I'll do next one different just so I can compare and see which one I prefer. This is my bumblebee bear in the hood. So my next one, I decided to go with the strawberry one because I do think anything strawberry looks so cute, but I wanted to try cow because her cow pattern looks so cute and it is completely no sew. Look at her. She is so cute. I like the face. I like the muzzle. The muzzle is completely no sew. I don't know. I like everything about the cow, and I actually find cow even cuter than the bear. So this is her strawberry hood mod. Unfortunately, you cannot find the mod for this that easily. You have to go on her website where she talks about her bears and how do you combine with the mods and everything else. Before I find it on her website, I did actually find her responding to one of the comments under the picture of the strawberry bear where she explained how to make the top. It's super easy, just go check her website, she has that listed over there. This is by far my favorite. The cow face is so cute. It has horns also. With this one, I actually struggled with stitch count. I messed something, but I wasn't bothered to frog it back. And I switched the ears. You're supposed to put spot ear here and the body color ear here, but I find it cute, so I just swapped that. And she has little horns. And with this head, you can tell I didn't stuff this head a lot because I was like, let's try it, make it smaller to see how it fits under the hood, and it fits better. I do think that not overstuffing the head actually fits really better and cuter. This is definitely so cute and I enjoyed making her, and she can sit of course, and yeah, everything is the same as the bear pattern. There's nothing to be sewn, and I don't know, this is such a cute pattern, guys. I do recommend you to get the cow because she is so cute. You need cow in your life. So for the cow, I went with exactly what the pattern asks for when it comes to face shaping and eyes. These are 12 mil eyes, and I do see them fitting perfectly. I do like the way she looks. I didn't want to go with the sinker, bigger eyes. I just wanted to keep her basic and simple, and I love the way she looks like. And yeah, she's just adorable. I love her. And of course, I couldn't stop at one cow. If we have a strawberry cow, of course we need a frog cow. Look at this. I did the same thing when it comes to face. Actually, did I? They look a bit different, but I know why. I did this muzzle with a tighter tension than this one. That's why this muzzle looks bigger than this one. But overall, I might have stuffed this head a bit more, or is it just like that? I don't know. I'm not sure, but they are both super cute. I just did the different colors for this one. You can play with so many colors. You can do so much with this, and they are so cute. Aren't they? Guys, you need cow too. If you have bought a bear pattern and you love it, you need a cow too. The only thing I didn't bought was the duck, but I do see myself making duck, but I just didn't feel the need that I have to have the duck pattern, because when you look at the bear just without the ears in a yellow color, it can easily be duck. I know her arms are a bit flatter and different, but that's not something that customers will notice or be bothered. You can still do a bit orange on the bottom. So unfortunately I didn't bought the duck pattern, but I do see myself making ducks and chickens in future just without pattern and modifying myself, because without ears, this face shaping, you just need to surface crochet bill and it will be duck. So I'm just gonna save some money and do the duck myself. Oh, I forgot to mention, I forgot the tail on the first one, just because when I was working on this one, I think I was following the bear hood pattern without going back to the cow pattern, and I forgot the tail. I was a bit overwhelmed with going back and forth between the patterns. So technically you have to go between cow pattern, mod for the hoodie, which I have in my bear pattern, and then separate mod for the sitting version. So I was going back and forth between two modification and a base pattern, and that's how I got lost and forgot the tail. I could easily surface crochet, but at the same time I'm really not bothered because they are having hoodies. Who cares? Tails are under the hoodies, so I'm just not too fussed about this. So, and last but not least, this is actually my sixth one. I decided to go with the strawberry bear, but this time sticking to the pattern when it comes to face shaping and eye size. And this is the difference. Let me compare to one of my best ones. So this is the difference. I do like both of them when it comes to eyes. I do prefer this one. Unfortunately, the size is good for this one, but I don't like the face shaping because this bear looks angry, like mad. Can you tell? So I'm thinking maybe pulling out the yarn for the face shaping because it's not a problem. I used acrylic yarn because face shaping with chenille yarn is not easy. There is a chance it's gonna snap and I didn't want to risk it. So I just used acrylic yarn in the same color and you cannot tell it. But I'm thinking of cutting it because it really looks mad and angry and it's not cute. Compared to this one, it's pretty cute. So when it comes to eye sizes, I'm definitely gonna stick with 18 mil sinker eyes or 12 mil black eyes. So this is according to pattern and this is my modification. I also made nose a bit smaller. I think she calls for 4-stitch nose and I did 3 because I think it's cuter when it's smaller. And that's it. This was my last one and I do think she is cute, a bit mad, but we'll fix that. But otherwise she is really cute. So these are all 6 of my hoodie bears and cows. Yeah, I just couldn't resist them. I've seen them all over the YouTube crochet community. I feel like everyone was buying these during Black Friday sale, even though they were not on sale. I actually don't remember. I think I only got 10% off. I bought the bear on Black Friday and I bought the cow a couple of days after. I do see myself making a lot more of these. I just wish they sell, that I get a chance to make more of them because I do have a lot of other variations to do. I do want to do chicken, I do want to do duck, and yeah, there are so many combinations that you can do and I love it. And that was all when it comes to bears and my review of that pattern. So in the end, you really should try the pattern because it is super addictive to work with it, and once you make one, you need to make all the others because they're such a cute pattern and you will enjoy working on them. And one of the last plushies and the only plushie, like for my market prep that I did, like I mentioned, I'm just gonna go less with market prepping of multiple items. I'm just gonna make plushies here and there, one-offs, even the smaller ones, because I don't have a lot of markets planned. So I made another Drift. Drift is one of my comfort makes. It is super easy and quick for me. And again, I'm destashing this awful Bernat Blanket. This yarn is like squidgy, spongy, gummy. I don't even know how to explain how awful this yarn is, but it works so good with drifts because they're curling so nicely and they are so fun to have them like this. I don't know, I do love this yarn for drifts. I hate working with this yarn, but I love it for the drift. The reason also I went to try to make a drift was because I bought a new hook and I wanted to test try it. This is Eddie 7mm hook. It is a metal hook and it has very short shaft and it has this, like, I don't know, grip for your hand. It's not bad, but it takes time to adjust to it. When it comes to hooks, my favorite hook is definitely Clover Amour because it has a flat part here, and usually when I'm crocheting, I'm holding my finger here and I am helping the yarn with my pointy finger, and this is how I crochet. This is what I'm doing all the time. And you can see where my thumb is sitting. It's almost sitting on the part of the shaft. This is how I crochet. So to work this, it kind of works because the shaft is very short and I could do that, but occasionally my thumb would slip here on this, whatever you call this. How do you call this? You know what I mean. You see how pointy that is? It would slip here. It just wasn't natural, but it worked. Honestly, it worked better than the plastic Clover ones, because with this yarn, plastic Clover ones are squeaking like so annoyingly that I cannot work with them. I think I'm gonna continue using this one just because it is better than the plastic squeaking one, but at the same time it's not an easy ergonomic for what I'm used to. When it comes to Tulip Etimo hooks, this is Tulip Etimo. This is the same issue I have with that bump. That bump is very irritating because when I put my finger here, it's hurting me. This is how I work, and this bump is actually in my finger and it's irritating me. So when you compare Clover Amour and Tulip Etimo, that bump is a huge difference, and that bump is hurting my finger. Tulip Etimo has a really good metal shaft, same as Clover Amour. They're pretty much very similar. I used to have the whole set, like the big pink beautiful set, and I returned it because it was, I think, $150-$200, and I kept one, not from the set. I bought this one separately just so I can play with it and figure it out if I might get used to it. But no, I could never get used to this bump because essentially it would cause me callus over the time, and I didn't want that. While this is really nice and flat and it works perfect for my way of crocheting. You can see I'm a knife holder and this works the best for me. So yeah, this one is a bit challenging, but I also managed to find a different one, which is, I think this is Knit Pro. This is what it looks like. Essentially, this one would be perfection because it is flat, shaft is short. Let me show you next to the Clover Amour. Look at the head. Let me show you next to the same size of the Clover Amour. And here is the thing. Look at the metal ones and look at the plastic ones. Look how bigger the shaft is between metal and plastic in Clover Amour. I wish they were this size of the shaft, and of course metal, not plastic. And this is the Knit Pro. It's shorter, it's metal, it's definitely better. But the problem is, look at the size of the head. Look how big this head is. This is ridiculous. It is huge. I really struggled to work with it. I did work with it on this plushie too, just because I was curious how it's gonna work. The metal part is good. The grip is perfect. But this head is huge. I really struggled to go through the stitches and pull them out because of the big head. The number is correct because head is not indicating the size of the stitch you will make. It is this neck that is indicating the size of the stitch that you will make, but this is just too big. Essentially, the perfect hook would be these two combined together. I mean, is it really that hard to find a metal hook above 6 mil? I know lately a lot of YouTubers have been talking about this and requesting if Clover Amour can finally come with the metal hooks. I'm still on the hunt. I think I did find another brand that was out of the stock because the sizes I need are 7 and 8 mil because those are my bigger sizes that I use. 7 I use for Bernat Blanket and 8 I use for Modavira blanket yarn. Those are the only bigger hooks in the metal that I need, and so far I'm gonna continue with this one because it's definitely better than this one. You see? Even the shaft, even if I put it like this, where my finger would go, the shaft is shorter. So at the moment, this one is working good for me. I just have to get used to the holding it like this, but oh well. I know that Tulip Etimo has metal hooks in a bigger size, but I just can't. This bump hurts me a lot and I just can't work with this, unfortunately. So yeah, this is my experiment that I did with the hooks. In case you're wondering, I bought these hooks from knittingco.au. It is an online web shop where I bought a couple of knitting needles from them, and I was actually ordering some knitting needles when they were having Black Friday sale. So I just put this into the cart to test them. Just a quick review of some other crochet hooks. And I know that there was some Susan Bates one too, and I think I watched Kim reviewing Susan Bates one and she got them in Spotlight. Knitting Co also had them, but I was like, I'm just gonna try these two and then maybe try Susan Bates if I don't like them. And I know I can always find them in Spotlight, so I might go back to Spotlight just to try it. And they're pretty cheap, I think. So yeah, that's my little hook test that I had. I just remember I have an exciting news. Guys, do you remember during Vlogmas when I was making Sylveon how I was tagging Shannon from Snuggle Beans Crochet and joking that we need Sylveon in splitting series because we already have Eevee, Umbreon and Espion and we really need Sylveon. And guess what, guys? It's coming. She has sent me prototype photos of Sylveon and it's amazing. It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Sylveon to come in splitting series. Let me tell you, it's gonna be a lot of work because there won't be any flat crocheting like I was mentioning in my past videos where I was struggling with color changes and flat crocheting. This one, the bow tails won't be flat. They will be in a tube, so it's gonna be a lot more work, but it's gonna be perfection. Let me tell you, I am so amazed. I'm so excited and I can't wait for her to finish the pattern and call for tester call. I'm holding my fingers together so that I can test it for her because that would be amazing. At the moment I'm also testing Zippy the Zebra. I haven't started that one yet. I will do it this weekend. I was a bit busy during New Year's Eve and a couple of days around New Year's Eve, so I will be starting it this weekend. I'm so excited that Sylveon is gonna come out in a splitting series, and honestly I'm so excited to see what Shannon will bring in 2026 because she is amazing. Honestly, the amount of patterns that she has produced last year is just amazing and I am loving everything that I did from her. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to see all the new plushies that will be coming this year. And last but not least, I also did something fun this week. I just needed to work on something different, so I decided to make a small tapestry, this silly goose, whatever you want to call it. I'm not new to tapestry. I made one of my biggest projects 15 years ago, which I do have a video about. I'm gonna link it down below in case you're interested. It is my daughter's portrait. She was only 1 or 2 in this photo and she's 16 now, so that was like 15 years ago and those were my early days of crocheting and that was a lot of work. And the other day I was just going through Pinterest and this just popped out as a pixel graph and I was like, oh, that's cute, let's make this. And I did it and I couldn't stop because I already finished another bigger one, like massive one, but I'm not gonna share that one for the next couple of weeks because there is a reason behind. I'm gonna film a separate video and share it in the future, and I already have a third one that I will be sharing next week and I'm just having fun. I have to say, this tapestry is so much fun and it's a bit different. It's like a palette cleanser when you're sick of making so many same plushies and you just want something different, and that's where my tapestry came in. This is on a 4mm dowel and I didn't block this. I'm not sure if I will because I do plan on taking this on my markets and selling it relatively cheap because tapestry is a lot of work, but when it comes to materials and things like that, it's very cheap. These materials cost nothing, so I'm gonna take it to my markets and try to sell it, and that's why I don't want to block it because by the time it's on the market it's gonna get creased again, so I'm just not too fussed about blocking it. But yeah, That's one of my latest makes, just a tapestry goose. And if you're curious about the bag, this is what my bag looks like. I'm doing a combination of intarsia and catching floats. It really doesn't matter which style you're working because this is a wall hanging. No one's ever gonna see the back of this, so it really doesn't matter. Pretty clean for a wall hanging, but my other ones are not because they are very big with a lot of color changes. This is very simple and basic. I just decided to give a tapestry a go and have fun. And I'm just gonna quickly share with you all the colors that I got in the mill ends. That honestly, that was during Vlogmas. I left those bags of mill ends in my car and they were there for 2 weeks because I forgot about them. I don't usually use my car boot that very often because I don't go shopping. My groceries are being delivered to me, so I don't use my boot. And I forgot my yarn in the boot, I have to admit. So I had to rearrange things around my room so that I can fit all of those 13, 14 bags. So I'm just gonna quickly show you the colors. I think this is Bernat Mystical because this is so soft and so nice. I'm not sure what is this, but it is not as nice. You can actually tell on the camera. Look at how flat that looks. It's a bit rough on my hands and it's very flat, so I'm not overly happy with this one, but I think they will all be used. For how cheap they were, they will all be used. I have some blue colors. This is also very soft. I have a lot of this denim color. I think this was the color that I watched Mel from Hey It's Mel B. I think she was making anchor in this one, the big size anchor, and it looked good. And I'm actually thinking I should make a bigger one. I have never made big anchor for market. I made it only for myself, and I made a small one, and I sold the small one for $95 at Supernova. I think this would be a great color for a big anchor, so I might use that because I think I got 2 bags of this denim blue. It looks a lot brighter in the camera, but in real life, let me see. Yeah, this is the real color. It's more like denim blue. I got 3 bags of this gray one. This could also be anchor just because I have 3 bags and 1 bag is 400 grams. That's a lot. So I might make anchor in this gray one. I got a couple of bags of the cream one. You can always use cream for anything. And I got this weird color. It is like gray and beige. How would we call that? Grayish. My first thought about this one was maybe chick in an egg, but like a eggshell could be. I don't know, I have to test it and I have to try how it will work. So my first thought was eggshell or maybe even anchor. I'm not sure I'm gonna make 5 anchors. There's no way. Maybe I can make big and small in different colors because yeah, I don't see myself having multiples of them. They take forever and I don't expect them to sell quickly because they're gonna be pricey. I only need 1 to be a showstopper. I don't need 5 of them. But I did find this color very interesting, so we'll see what I will be able to make with this one. And that is all when it comes to my mill ends haul. If you have watched my Vlogmas, then you know I went on a 4 spotlight mill end hunt and it was pretty good. I also got a yellow yarn that I shared in one of the videos, but unfortunately I have to throw that away. That was so bad that I couldn't even donate or gift, or I was just embarrassed to donate that because that yarn had such a strong chemical smell and it had really weird feel in my hands. I didn't try crocheting it, just after I opened the bag I tried it and I was like, ooh, this doesn't feel right. It was really off and that chemical smell was so overpowering. I was like, unfortunately this is gonna be a waste of $10 because I'm embarrassed to even donate this, so that is fine. I had in mind like making chickens with it because it was it was like a white yarn with a yellow fuzz around it and I was curious about that, but it was a very bad quality, so I just decided to get rid of it. And that is it when it comes to everything that I have made this week. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed looking at all of these bears and cows, and I definitely recommend this pattern. It is truly worth the hype. Anouk did an amazing job and I really enjoyed making them. When it comes to my YouTube schedule, I have decided that I'm gonna stick to one crochet video a week, which will be every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. With all of that, thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best in new year, and until next time, happy crafting!